Hi, this is Deaf to False Music, bringing you honest music reviews from the hills of eastern Kentucky. And we are finally finishing off the Black Crowes discography. Thank God! Unfortunately, we are not going out with a bang, because we are talking about the Black Crowes. I'm going to divide this review into two parts, actually. I'm going to talk about both albums. This is an album called Before the Frost Until the Freeze, and this is Before the Frost, with a beautiful album cover. That is probably the best album cover the Crowes have ever made. It's just a shame that I can't say the same thing about the music. This is, I have given this album multiple spins, over and over again, and I'm sorry, I just don't really like it. I really don't. There's some good songs on here, but there's a whole lot of crap. And this album was hyped up to be the Crowes release. You know, this was the double album, live in the studio, live in Levon Helm's house, or his ramble, I suppose, his studios. And for 5 days, they recorded completely new songs in front of a live audience. And as a live album, it's wonderfully produced. There's some great performances, but the songs just aren't that good. I'm sorry. There's some good songs, like this one we're listening to, Good Morning Captain. It has this kind of cool band vibe. I'm starting to wonder if they wrote this specifically with Levon Helm in mind. And let me see here. I really like Good Morning Captain, and Been a Long Time Waiting on Love. Even though it is really reminiscent of Hi-Hat Blues, it is a good song, and it's got a killer jam at the end with everybody trading solos. A Train Still Makes a Lonely Sound is alright. I fucking love I Ain't Hiding. Oh my, I love that song. And a lot of Crowes fans don't like it, but I think it's just awesome that they took a chance with that song and delivered this kind of just cool, kind of almost Rolling Stones, Miss You, kind of disco song. I really, really fucking love it, and I admire the fact that, you know, they came out with something like that. That song is actually written. What's weird now is that we have songs that are solely written by Chris Robinson and solely written by Rick Robinson. So the kind of partnership. That's why I didn't like this album. It's they're writing songs on their own, and I think they really need each other to write powerful songs. Then again, Warpaint was the same way. It was written by Chris and Rick Robinson, and it wasn't that good either. This one just, I don't know. It sounds limp. There's some songs on here that I'm gonna be honest, are fucking atrocious. Houston, Don't Dream About Me, and The Band Played On. Those are I cannot stand either one of those songs. They do nothing. They go nowhere. They just sound boring. Lyrics just, They're just two songs I really cannot stand. And, you know, I just wish... I know that it really does sound like a rushed album. It really does sound like they threw a bunch of riffs together and threw some lyrics together and some nice little changes. But it falls flat. Make Glad is another good song, but, you know, compared to the songs of old, it's just kind of... It's funky, it's cool, but like the riff's just like something that like any band would write nowadays. And of course there's tons of like just boring ballads that I just think go nowhere. What's it called? In the Last Place That Love Lives. It's like 5.5 minutes of just Chris and his guitar. And I know it's supposed to be a pretty song, but it doesn't sound like a Black Crowes song. It sounds like a Chris Robinson solo song. In fact, it was written solely by him. And I think they could have left it off for something strong. They usually end their albums on a strong note, and this album just is not that strong to me. It's just, I don't know, they sound tired, they sound old, and they just don't rock as much as they used to. And I hate to say that, because I absolutely love the Crowes, and I think they're a fantastic live album. There's just something about it that I just cannot stand. Maybe it's the fact that they're just not wanting to rock as much as they used to, and going in these weird directions. This album does sound like they're going in a bunch of weird directions that I just don't care for. I'd rather they just do the trippy jam band thing again. And I mean, I do appreciate the fact that they're trying out new things. But I think this is really just kind of a boring album. That's what it is. It's just boring. They could have done so much better with this album. A double album full of new material. I was so hyped up, and it just kind of fell flat. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to give this one a 5 out of 10. This is simply the worst Crows album. It's boring. And I never thought I'd say that about Black Crowes release, but there's some songs that make me want to change, skip to the next track. I'll be perfectly honest, there's like 4 songs on this album that I like. That's it. And then the rest of them I can really do without. And, I'm going to do the Until the Freeze, but I can tell you right now, that album's actually worse than Before the Frost. There's really no songs I like on that album. So I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. Originality, who cares? As far as Crows go, no, it's not that original. I mean, they can do better songs than this. I've heard them do better songs than this. It's just that with this group, they really have the potential to just absolutely kick ass and make terrific songs together, and instead it's still just Chris and Rick's bloated ego. I mean, maybe Rick not so much. Rick seems like a real down-to-earth guy. It's Chris that is kind of an egotistical jackass and kind of directing the band to do what he wants to do. That's why there's 2 songs that are solely written by Chris. I feel that's kind of egotistical. Flow, no. I mean, I guess it flows okay, for rock and roll. It just doesn't flow well for me. This is just personal experience. It might flow well for other listeners, but that's all I can say about this album. Very, very disappointed. So I'm going to do Until the Freeze, and then we'll be done with the Black Crowes. And I already got requests to do some My Morning Jacket albums and a few other things. I think the new Band of Horses. So I'll get to that eventually. Just hold tight. Anyway, this is Death to False Music. Peace, and love your brother. Take it easy.